Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Tiki Barber.
Good evening, everyone. I would also like to welcome Rose. Welcome to the Achilles International Gala. We are celebrating an evening of hope and possibilities. My name is Tiki Barber. I am wearing, hold on, this is important. I am wearing, well, first of all, I am African American, black. I am wearing a plain white button-up shirt with a polka dot tie and a blue jacket. My pants are maroon, and my shoes have those cool little white things on the bottom that guys like to wear these days. I think I look okay, but I do know that all of you look wonderful, and it's wonderful to have you all here this evening, I should say. We are always learning ways to be more inclusive. So for those present who have vision loss, that's why I just described myself. We have programs printed in Braille for those who are sight impaired. And, as I mentioned, Rose is here for those who are hearing impaired. Hello again, Rose. I had the pleasure of playing football for the New York Giants for a decade. And it was amazing. And they're finally maybe getting good again. So tune in Monday night, New York Giants. What I loved most about playing football and team sports, both in college at UVA and in the NFL with the New York Giants, was the idea, the concept of team camaraderie. Now, I've grown to love running. I used to sprint for a living, but now I've run 14 marathons. I'm not very good at it, but I do love being out there. There's a sense of team, even though we're all competing individually. Now, I got introduced to Achilles back in 2019, and ever since I've been hooked. I had the privilege of even guiding a sight-impaired athlete. His name is Lamar Brown, and he's here this evening, looking pimp in his white outfit. Lamar, stand up for everybody so we can see. Lamar looks dope. You look good, Lamar. And he really looked good. When I was able to guide him back in 2001, just a year ago, in the Hope and Possibilities 4-miler. It was a learning experience to me. It was the first time I had ever guided a sight-impaired runner, and I loved it. It was amazing. And you made me run faster than I wanted to at that point, Lamar. So I blame my muscle aches on you. I hope that you've all got a chance to meet an Achilles athlete tonight. In fact, I know that you have, because coming up in the elevator, we had Achilles athletes with all of you. I think all the Achilles athletes in the room tonight should give us a wave. Stand, give us a wave, because you are the reason you all are the reason that we are here. And even the Achilles kids, you know it's a school night, and I'll try to move this thing along, but it's an excuse to sleep in tomorrow and say, I don't want to go to school, Mom. In case it's unclear, an Achilles athlete is anyone who has a permanent disability and wants to move, connect, and live a fulfilling life. Achilles International is the organization that helps them do just that. Achilles organizes running, walking, wheeling meetups, triathlon training, races, and so much more, all in the name of empowering athletes with disabilities to achieve their athletic goals in life, whether that's walking around Central Park, all the way up to competing in a marathon, and even a full Ironman triathlon. 1 in 4 Americans lives with a disability. That means you or someone you know likely has to move through life challenged differently. Got a party foul over there? It's all good, I'm just kidding. Tonight we will learn, we will celebrate, and hopefully inspire you all to support our Achilles athletes. While we get to be here tonight, our community spans across the globe, helping thousands of Achilles athletes across 18 countries. Some of our friends who couldn't be here tonight, well, they want to say hello too.
Hola, soy Brianda, corredor guía. Les mandamos saludos desde Halcones, Aquiles, México.
Y juntos somos Halcones, Achilles, México.
¡Vamos, Aquiles!
Y todos somos Halcones, Achilles, México.
Been a member of the Achilles International Houston chapter since 2016. Thank you for your incredible support throughout the years.
Hi there, I'm Christina from Achilles Queens, and we're ready to have a great day.
Go Achilles!
Hi, it's Erin with Achilles, Connecticut. Yeah, Dana! Yeah, Chris! Woo! You did it!
Hey, what's up, all my Achilles family, Freedom Teamers? I'm over here getting ready for New York City. I'll be out there this year, kicking butt, taking names. I'm glad to be a part of this wonderful team. I love you guys. I don't know what my life would be like without you.
Hello, New York. We love Achilles, and we'll see you at the marathon.
Oh my gosh. Thank you all very, very much. I'm Emily Glasser, President and CEO of Achilles International. I've got short brown hair, brown eyes, I'm wearing a black sparkly dress, and I have an enormous smile on my face. How could I not? How could I not? How could I not when I'm in a room with all of you and feeling this Achilles spirit and love? That incredible combination of enthusiasm, joy, and inspiration. I'm also thrilled this evening to be celebrating two outstanding members of the Achilles family, Achilles supporter and friend Ross Moody, and Achilles athlete Sarah Heller. Achilles was founded in the belief that there is power in redefining and reimagining what is possible. At Achilles, we overcome limitations that have been imposed on us. We break down barriers that have prevented access to opportunity and achievement. In parks, on trails, and on roads around the globe, Achilles empowers people with disabilities to achieve goals they never thought possible. Athletes and volunteers join forces to inspire, encourage, and show up for one another. They train together, they race together, they achieve together, and they are a powerful demonstration that we are all stronger together. Ours is an expansive and diverse community, 66 chapters in 18 countries, serving over 10,000 children, adults, and veterans living with a disability on an annual basis. A disabling condition that may impair mobility, sight, hearing, cognition. Our members may be navigating life with a chronic illness, memory loss, or autism. Each of their lived experiences is valued in our community and makes the fabric of who we are so much richer. And along with those 10,000 athletes annually, We wouldn't be able to do what we do without the close to 5,000 dedicated volunteers, volunteers with whom our athletes forge lifelong friendships, volunteers who make achieving those dreams a reality. They really are the wind beneath our wings. We could not do what we do and have the impact that we do without them. Ours is an enormous, enormous tent, and I encourage you all, as members of the Achilles community, by virtue of the support you have lent us this evening and throughout the time that we've known you, to attend a chapter workout and feel firsthand and see firsthand the Achilles spirit and experience. That's right, Tuesday evenings in Central Park. And when you take an action, join a workout, follow our stories, share what we do, make a donation, you are changing lives. Before we get started, I want you all to indulge me. I have a few thank yous to share. First and foremost, thank you to all of you. Thank you for being here, for supporting us, for encouraging us, for making this work so meaningful. Thank you to our presenting sponsors this evening, the Perry and Donna Gulkin Family Foundation, Rebecca and Bennett Lindenbaum, our gold sponsors, Town Fair Tire, David Greenstein and Hillary Mandel. And thank you to the staff of Achilles. I have the great fortune and the honor and the privilege to get to work with people who are passionate, principled, and truly so very extraordinary. They believe so fully, as I do, in the importance of making our world a more accessible and inclusive world. So thank you to the staff. So now I invite you all for the next 20 minutes or so to sit back and enjoy a glimpse of the Achilles experience and know that each of you has had a hand in making all of this possible. Thank you very much.
Well, I was never a big athlete. I do more sports now since I became an above the knee amputee than I did when I had two good legs. I was used to do construction work. After I lost my leg above the knee, I couldn't climb ladders anymore, so it was a little hard for me. So I went through two amputations. I was below the knee, and then I went to above the knee, just a year back to back. So it was a big change in a lifestyle, you know. Everybody has some depression, you know. After any injury, then you go down yourself. Maybe I did this wrong, or how can I get any better? You always think about it. I'm not gonna walk. I'm having problems. You become a couch potato, where you don't want to leave the house, or you don't like the way you look, like you don't want to even go to a store or a restaurant because you think of your disability. People look at you funny. Getting into sports was a big help on the mind. From the rehab and got to meet Achilles, that's how I got involved in sports. I like the feeling of riding a hand cycle. I never was a runner, so Achilles gave me the opportunity to do that. And you just let go of everything. Like your brain is just free. You don't think about anything else but just riding your bike.
Achilles is impacting people's lives by expanding what they think is possible. Right? People have a certain definition of what they are capable of. And as they do more, especially through Achilles, because we facilitate so many events and things that test people's limitations, we get to see firsthand that people are discovering things and parts of themselves that they never knew existed.
Achilles, gather around real quick. Achilles. We're gonna do a big go Achilles and then we'll all run. All right, 1, 2, 3, go Achilles! All right.
One of the main missions of Achilles is removing barriers for athletes with disabilities to get out into the park training, to get to start lines of races. That differs from one person to another. And Achilles, we provide solutions to those barriers. And it could be as simple as, you know, an athlete not being able to afford running shoes, all the way to providing a guide who is trained in verbal communication and then safely guiding a person with a disability, whether they be blind or brain injury or any other type of disability, or providing a hand cycle that an athlete would normally never be able to afford. Our main thing is identifying all those different barriers that could get in someone's way, figuring out solutions and ways that we can help people with disabilities overcome those barriers. And our mission statement is to transform lives, and that is exactly what we do. And it's not this intangible, conceptual, strategic thing, like, right, we are literally touching people's lives.
I get to the park around 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. So I wake up like around 4 o'clock. I get myself going in the morning, and I put on my prosthetic leg, and I get myself out of the house. I use my wheelchair to get around beside my prosthetic. Then we get to the park and we do a whole complete setup. We take all the bikes, have to assemble each bike every day. We check every tire for air, so we're talking about like 90 tires on every workout. And then we make sure that all the bikes are all in safe and working condition all the time. We also have to assist athletes to get from their wheelchair down to the bike, strapping their feet, or if they need any special bands or assistance. They need the help from everybody. And Achilles is that everybody. It's the big piece that keeps them going. Achilles offers you just to show up in your wheelchair or walk over or just have just a fun day out as a good ride, you know. Anybody at Achilles, they have no limitations. They just worry about today, they don't worry about tomorrow. They just enjoy their life one day at a time. The whole Achilles experience, it helps you physically, mentally, and emotionally. It gives you that glow all the time.
Achilles is so much bigger than just athletics. It's about inclusion, it's about equality, it's about diversity, and giving people who traditionally don't have a community, giving them a place where they feel like they belong. That is the true impact of Achilles.
Emily, you memorized your speech. You didn't turn the pages for me. And just remember, you guys can come out and see Dom and Francesco in New York Central Park, or in a New York City park near you, and be part of the magic yourself. So Dom, Francesco, give a wave. You guys are somewhere in here. Every single dollar that's raised tonight directly benefits athletes with disabilities, just like those you just saw in that video. You can get involved by coming out to Central Park and volunteering, or you can simply make a gift by texting this number. We all have phones. I know you do. Don't claim you have a flip phone and you can't text. We all have Samsungs and iPhones and everything else. It's very easy. Type in that number, text your pledge, write a little message, and then send your donation. It's really, really easy. Now, this is an exciting time. We are in marathon season. I'll be running my 8th New York City Marathon. But more importantly, there will be 400 Achilles athletes and guides preparing for the New York City Marathon. That's out on November 6th. So even if you're not running, come out and support us. There's nothing like running through the boroughs of New York City and seeing people handing out salt packets and rotted bananas and oranges. But really, it's just the cheers that get us through. Achilles' presence in the New York City Marathon wouldn't be possible without one extraordinary man who is here with us tonight, Ross Moody. Now, I just met Ross tonight, so I would be doing him a disservice if I introduced him. So, to introduce him, here's a beloved member of the Achilles family who could not join us tonight.
Hi, everyone. My name is Trisha Miley. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor and founding board chair of Achilles International. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person to celebrate, but I'm excited to introduce tonight's amazing honoree, Ross Moody. Ross hails from the great state of Texas, where he is chairman and CEO of National Western Life Group, Inc. Ross is also a board member of the Moody Endowment and the Moody Foundation, two organizations that have affected Achilles in important ways, and here's how. Ross's work with the Moody Endowment has funded innovative brain injury research and life-changing rehabilitation activities to help those with disabilities live their best possible lives. As a brain injury survivor myself, I know just how impactful this is. In 2018, the Moody Endowment began sponsoring Achilles athletes in the New York City Marathon. Since then, the endowment has helped over 500 Achilles athletes compete in the race. Just let that sink in, over 500 athletes. Achilles athletes and guides proudly race with the Moody Endowment logo emblazoned on their bright yellow Achilles International shirts. It's a beautiful sight. Now, I've seen in my own recovery the confidence gained in reaching a physical goal like the New York City Marathon is transferred to accomplishments in other aspects of rehabilitation and life, at home, at school, at work, and even in relationships. And Ross's support of Achilles didn't stop with the New York City Marathon. The Moody Foundation, whose philanthropy is focused in Texas, made a grant last year to support our Achilles Houston chapter, allowing it to grow and reach even more athletes with disabilities in the greater Houston area. Ross, your impact on Achilles has been profound. Thank you for giving our athletes the opportunity to achieve new heights. On behalf of our entire board, please accept our deepest appreciation and gratitude. Your support is changing lives. There's no one who deserves this honor more.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and congratulating Mr. Ross Moody.
You know, for better or worse, unlike Emily, I did not memorize my speech. So here we go. Emily, Tiki, thank you. Sarah, it's such a pleasure to meet you as well. Wow, what an honor. Thank you, Achilles, on behalf of myself and the Moody Endowment and the Moody Foundation. Needless to say, we at the board of the Moody Endowment and Moody Foundation love Achilles International. We love its mission, its leadership, its employees, its volunteers, and of course, its athletes. Speaking of the board, let me quickly introduce two board members. One, my son, Jack Moody. Jack, would you? And my daughter, Ellie Moody. She's also here this evening. Many of you may be asking, who is Ross Moody, and what is the Moody Endowment, the Moody and the Moody Foundation, and why is a Texan and a Texas-based nonprofit being honored here today? In a few words, I'd like to tell you. The Moody Endowment was founded in 1985 by my father after his son, my older brother Russell, suffered a traumatic brain injury after being hit by a drunk driver. Like many of you, Russell was an athlete, captain of the football and track teams. In a nutshell, he was a runner. The Moody Endowment supports organizations across the country that provide life-changing rehabilitation services to improve the lives of patients and their families. That is, to get them over the finish line and back into the mainstream of life. Achilles does just this, literally and figuratively. Let's fast forward to 1999 when a friend dared me to run the New York City Marathon. Accepting the dare, I ran the marathon, and along the marathon route, I saw dozens and dozens of athletes with disabilities, their guides, and literally hundreds of volunteers. So impressed and inspired by this, the following year in 2000, I signed up as a guide and did so again in 2001. I will never forget the athlete I guided that day. His name is Renzo Yanez, and hearing his story of the seemingly unsurmountable challenges that he experienced just to get to the start line and across the finish line were forever an inspiration to me. So let's fast forward to these past few years, with 30 marathons under my belt later, all the while thinking of Renzo's challenges, the confluence of my brother's accident, the creation of the Moody Endowment, running the New York City Marathon in 1999, discovering the amazing work of Achilles International is why the Moody Endowment and I are here today. The bottom line is, we love what Achilles does, breaking down barriers to raise start lines and empowering the disability community to cross the finish line. The Achilles athletes, which include children and veterans with disabilities from around the world, are an inspiration of hope and bring joy to so many. And we at the Moody Foundation love that about all of you all. Thank you again for honoring us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Your generosity is infectious. It's inspiring, so I appreciate it. 30 marathons, wow.
Francesco, here we go. Francesco.
It's been a...
Francesco, we've got to go. Come, run this way. Okay, so it doesn't look like we can get through here. Okay, 180 left. Okay, back.
Sushi.
Come, we're going to take a right. In 3, 2, 1. Big right. Okay, good.
What is
Okay,
going on in here?
straight. Going to take a right here. Whoa. Okay, straight. Here we go. Final right. 2 steps. 1 step here. 1 step. Second step.
I think we
Ladies and gentlemen,
Francesco Magazzano.
I think I'm going to let you guys take it from here.
Thank you very much. Sorry for crashing.
Too much sushi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom Flaherty. I'm one of the guides here at Achilles International. I'm 5'9". Unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with Francesco's genetics, who's 6'6". Really don't like having photos with him because he always makes you look incredibly stunted. And it's an absolute honor to be here with the man himself, Francesco.
What's up, everybody? Let me catch my breath. My name is Francesco Magazzano. I'm head up New York City Achilles, and I'm 6'6", unlike Tom is 5'9".
Thanks for bringing it up again.
I'm wearing a bright yellow Achilles shirt, I think, so they tell me. And I'm very happy to be with all of you here.
Thanks, Francesco. I neglected to mention I'm also wearing a yellow Achilles bright t-shirt, one of the guide t-shirts. So what you just saw, if you haven't seen before, is guiding. I guided Francesco with a hand tether. So what I'm going to do right now is pick at random someone in the audience who's sighted, and I'm going to blindfold you and see if you can do the same. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You won't be able to do it as well as Francesco, so I'm not going to put you through that. What I am going to do is tell you a quick story about how Francesco and I met and how I got into guiding, which will hopefully inspire you to guide and you to give generously to Achilles. And so this is a waist tether that we sometimes wear. And I want to tell you the story of how Francesco and I literally have become joined at the hip. So, thanks Wes. I'm going to unclip for the moment, just for the story. So, go back a couple of years to Central Park. I'm signed up for a duathlon, run, then bike, then run. I'm at the start line, ready to go off like a bullet in a loaded gun. And then I get quite distracted by this beautiful lady to my left, who's screaming out, "Can someone guide an Achilles athlete?" And I was very, very focused. I wanted to get onto the podium, but I couldn't help but look at this beautiful woman. And finally, I realized no one was volunteering, and I said to this lady, "Well, what's an Achilles athlete?" And she said, "It's an athlete who's blind." And I thought to myself, well, I obviously want to get on the podium, but there's a blind runner here. If no one guides him, he can't do the race. And I thought, of course I've got to guide this guy. So they bring over this 6'6" chunk of meat over to me, and I'm incredibly intimidated. And I just want to mention that that beautiful lady was none other than Rebecca Lindenbaum. Please stand. Stand, Rebecca. Stand. Be recognized. So off we go, and Francesco is literally telling me how to guide him as we're doing the race. It's a 1.1 mile run out, 1.1 mile back, and in the time that we've done that, Rebecca has managed to work her magic on another person who was in full cycling gear, watching his girlfriend do the race, about to go to his own cycling practice, who happened to be just one rung below professional, and whose cycling shoes fit into the tandem cycling bike, which is a small miracle, because if you've ever cycled with clip-in shoes, they don't always fit. And he'd never cycled on a tandem bike in his life. But he said yes, and they did an amazing couple of laps around Central Park. They beat me slightly. And that person is also here tonight. Ralph, please stand up and be recognized. Yeah. So we do the second bit of the run. Francesco and I finish the race with a big smile on our faces. And Francesco at the time was in the 18 to 25-year-old age group against able-bodied athletes. He wins the entire age group against able-bodied athletes. And at the end, he asked me to go on the podium with him in first place. And I was incredibly moved by that. I thought, okay, this is the athlete. I was just guiding him. But he asked me to go on the end, and I was on the podium with him at the end, and I was incredibly touched by that. And then, later on, we'd become, by this stage, we were Instagram official friends at this point. We'd become friends. And later on in the day, Francesco had posted 10 beautiful pictures of the race, which I still don't really fully understand how you do all this stuff without any mistakes. I make mistakes, and you never make mistakes when you post. And then a big chunk of text underneath describing what happened that day. And I'll never forget the first line. The first line that Francesco wrote was, "Today isn't about me. Today was about these two superstar athletes who last minute stood in and volunteered to help me race." I didn't so much cry as I did uncontrollably sob at my dining room table. But it's athletes like Francesco and athletes who come and walk with us in Central Park. Who are the guys who did Timberman recently? Can you please wave or stand up? Big Timberman is a half Ironman. We have a few athletes. There we go. Roosevelt. We've got Simon, Francesco. It's these incredible athletes from all across the globe and also right here in New York. And like Tiki said earlier, we would not be here tonight were it not for these amazing athletes. So I want you guys to put your hands together, make the biggest amount of noise you've made all night for the Achilles athletes. And it gives me great pleasure to hand off to Francesco to introduce the Achilles Spirit Award.
Thanks, Tom.
Welcome.
Right on. Thanks, Tom, for setting that up so nicely. So, the athlete that I am about to introduce to you all embodies the Achilles spirit. Anyone who knows her can't deny that she has a massive amount of resilience and a massive amount of ridiculous positivity. Some of you might know, well, you all know if you read the thing, but hang on. Whether it's 4 a.m. in a dark van driving to a race or 11 p.m. in a dark van driving home from a race, this athlete can't help but constantly spew positivity and ask me, when's the next race? For all the blind folk in the room, I am massively rolling my eyes right now because that's, 11 p.m. in a van is a hell of a time. This athlete is also the most famous person on any race course because she has a very unique habit of singing during the entire race, and this includes during the swim portion of a triathlon, right? Evelyn, I hear you. She sings the entire time. I remember Montauk Triathlon a few years ago. I was swimming, I was going hard, in the game, go, go, go. And then all of a sudden, I hear this person singing next to me. And I'm like, who is this person singing while swimming? This is insane. And yes, this was one of our athletes, an Achilles athlete dressed in neon. And her guide will tell me later, she'd be swimming from one safety kayak to another, asking the lifeguards, how am I doing? And they'd be like, you're doing great, but you gotta keep swimming. It's the middle of the ocean, you can't stop. So without further ado, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you all the Achilles Spirit Awardee of the Year, Sarah Heller.
Woo!
Sarah, how's it going? You want to give me a hug? How's it going?
Photo? The photo?
Photo? Yeah.
Okay. Here, Sarah, you want to come to the microphone?
Sarah, come to the mic.
Just right.
Oh,
Sarah,
wow.
What do you want to say?
Thank you so much. I'll say it. If it wasn't for all the people who make up Achilles, I wouldn't know this kind of sport. We all care about each other's success. The guides, the athletes, are the best people I ever met. I'm so proud, delighted, grateful, touched, and flattered to win this award. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much. It is the best thing in the world.
So,
guys, photo here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quick photo.
Sarah. Congratulations. All right, Sama, let's go. Now, don't push me off the stage now, Sarah.
One more round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the part of the evening where we ask you to reach deep into your pockets, or in this case, reach for your phones, to support the incredible work of Achilles International. Throughout the evening, we've encouraged you to text pledges to this number, 646 859-5305. Couldn't be easier. Now we'll show you those messages pop up on screen. If you haven't yet given, now's your chance to show everyone in the room just how much you love Achilles. Be sure to put your name or your company name, the amount of your gift, and any message you'd like to share. And I would like to apologize in advance if I make any mistakes in pronouncing your names or company names or regular words. I'm still learning American, so just bear with me, and please do correct me. Oh wow, we've got them coming in already. Incredible. We've got $1,000. Go Achilles kids. Dylan and I thank Karen, Lindsay, Carolyn. Oh my God, 200 proud support for Achilles. We've got 2,000. Keep up the great important work from Jim Glasser. Round of applause. Round of applause. 200 coming in from Chris and Lizzie Quick. 150. Go Achilles. There's so much that we can do with this money. 1,000 will fund a full year of supplies for our Run to Learn program at an inner city school. 5,000 will purchase a tandem bike at a TriAchilles program. 10,000 will launch an Achilles Kid program in an existing chapter. We've got more and more coming in. $100. Thank you, Ross Moody, and congrats, Sarah Heller. 1,000 in honor of David Greenstein, Achilles board member, believer and Achilles athlete who inspires me, his family, friends every day. So many more coming in. Please, a round of applause to all of the generous donors tonight. Everything raised tonight directly impacts the Achilles athletes in this room and all over the world. There is no amount too small or too big. It's incredible to see the generosity in this room. Thank you for your support. We're going to keep this up on screen, and you can continue to text pledges throughout the evening. First of all, before I hand over to Tiki to close us out, one more round of applause to everyone who's donated tonight. Tiki, my friend, over to you to close us out. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. That was amazing. You did a fantastic job. And since you are from that side of the pond, God rest the king, queen, and long live the king. Well, that's the end of this evening for you all. Again, as Tom said, please keep pledging. I think the bar will still be open. You can hang out, mingle, meet this Achilles athletes. And we hope that all that you have heard and seen tonight will inspire you to come out and join us. Come run, come walk, come do whatever you want to do with our Achilles athletes, because it's fulfilling and a lot of fun. We have a goodie bag for all of you at the end of the night that has information about all of our different programs and how you can get involved. Together, we can make the world a more inclusive place. Thank you so much, everybody. Please stick around, dessert, socialize. And if you have any questions, just look for someone with a name tag. I got one more thing I have to do, because we used to do this. It was usually Michael Strahan who would break us down, and we'd have our huddle right before we went on in the field. But I want everybody to put their arm in the air. We're gonna get a triumphant 1, 2, 3 Achilles. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Achilles! Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Sarah. A rose.
I love the way it flows, I love the way it grows. There's something in this sound that takes me far. It's like a special song, can move my mood along. What I cannot say, you'll hear through my guitar. She told me at the bass line, and everything will be alright. She told me that the groove is mine, it will take us through the night. And where I'll go, can't explain, I'll never know, but it's beautiful. You can't take this away from me. The way I hear the melody, the way it's bringing clarity, can't take this away from me. Oh, the way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me. I love the way it sings, all the joy that it brings. Remember skating down the road towards the park. I could never say no. You with that summer glow. The music gives me sun when winter starts. She told me at the baseline everything will be alright. She told me that the beat is mine, it will rock us through the night. And where I go, can't explain, I'll never know, but it's beautiful. You can't take this away from me. Oh, the way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me.